For those of you that don't know me, my name is Erin, and I will be teaching you a gentle yoga practice today. So it's going to be half standing and half seated for your practice today. So we are going to be doing a little stretch for the inner thighs today. So in today's practice, you may need a few props here. So maybe a strap. So we can always use a scarf instead of a strap here. Or if you have a yoga strap, you can grab that. Maybe a few cushions here. And a pillow. So just like your regular pillow here. Okay, so we'll just put those to the side. So go ahead, you can get into something comfortable. You can put some tunes on. So whatever you want to practice with in terms of music. So don't worry about it being like yoga music. If you want to listen to rock music while doing yoga, go for it. You can rock it. Yeah, I know, that's bad. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so from here, let's just start standing here. So we'll get nice and even on our feet. We'll roll our shoulders back and down. So really lengthen the spine and gently pressing both feet into the earth here. Take a nice deep breath or two. Good, shoulders back and down. Allowing the body to steady, to still here. And then when you're ready, we're just going to inhale up with the arms and then exhale back down. 2 times here. Inhaling up, big stretch, and then exhale down. One more time. Inhaling up and then back down. Lovely. So here, maybe taking the feet just a little bit wider here. And we're going to inhale the arms up. We're going to take our left hand onto our right wrist and side stretch it over to our left here. Good. So we're just opening up the side body here. Shoulders back and down. Good. Even finding that length through the neck here as well. And then when you're ready, back to center. So same, opposite side. So right hand on the left wrist. Side stretch it over to your right here, just as far as comfortable. Really listening to your body throughout the practice here. Good, shoulders back and down. Lengthen the spine, lengthen the neck here. Pressing into the left foot. Good, one more breath. And then when you're ready, back to center, you can release both arms down. So from here, we can draw our hands on the hips, and we're just going to do some circles with the hips. Working on our hula hooping skills. You never know when they might come in handy. And make sure we go in both directions here. There we go. And then back to center here. So from here, you can stay where you are. I'm just going to turn to the side here, just so it's a little bit easier here to kind of see what we're doing here. Okay, so from here, we're just going to come into some balancing. Now, always feeling free to be close by a wall if you need a little help for balance here as well. So thinking nice and tall, we're just going to start to bend the left knee and put a flex in the left foot. Now for the arms, you can have your hands on your hips or one hand on the wall here if you need to, or if comfortable, maybe drawing the index finger to the thumb here and stretching out the rest of the fingers, drawing the elbows back here. There we go. Wonderful. So a little stretch here, drawing back the arms here if the arms are up. Here we go. We'll call these our cactus arms. Keeping that flex and always feeling free to use the wall or putting the heel on the ground here. Good. One more breath. And then when you're ready, we're just going to move right into our next balancing pose. So you can always draw the left foot down, or you can extend that left foot right away. So pointing the toe. Wonderful. And from here, we're just going to extend out our arms out into a T here. Lovely. Holding here. Oh, yes, getting that balance. Bringing that balance in. Good. 2 more breaths. You can always rest the toe on the ground instead of it hovering up here. Good. Last breath. And then slowly starting to draw the toe back. Now with the arms, we're going to draw the arms up. Good. You can always draw one hand on the wall or hand on the hips if you rather. Good. Just a few breaths here. Seeing if we can really draw the hips in line. Shoulders relaxing down. 1 more breath. And then nice and slowly we'll draw our left foot beside our right here. We can draw our palms together and hands down towards the heart. Oh, hello. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever time this video finds you at. Okay, now I gotta do the same on the other side. Yep, we do. Can't just do one side. Okay, so when you're ready this time, our right knee is going to go up and flexing the right heel. So remember, always option to draw the heel onto the ground here with that flexed foot. So thinking hips nice and even. Option to draw the knee up, hands on the hips or one hand on the wall, or coming into our cactus arms with our index finger and thumbs together. So making a circle and stretching out the rest of the fingers here. Thinking elbows drawing back, but really seeing what feels best for you. Few breaths here. So really creating some energy here, some heat. Good, lengthening the spine. 1 more breath. Now option here to draw the foot, that right foot on the ground, or if you're comfortable, you can extend that right foot out, pointing the toe this time, and drawing our hands, our arms back into a T here. Good. You can always use the wall there if you'd like. That's it. Hello, legs. Good. That's it. 1 more breath. And then from here, that right foot is going to draw back on to the ground there. Thinking hips nice and even this time. Hands are reaching towards the sky or hands on the hips. Good. So try to even out the shoulders, even out the hips. Good. Good. 2 more breaths. Then slowly drawing that right foot back to center very slowly now. Good. Hands together and then hands down towards the heart. Pedal out the legs. Allow them to release. Maybe a little movement for the arms here. So even if it feels kind of odd, like you're swimming, whatever feels best for you. So important to allow movement, especially if it's a pose that we felt we're like, oh, kind of feeling it there. Allow movement, allow the energy to flow. Sometimes energy can get kind of stuck within certain parts of our body. So important to allow movement, to allow that energy to keep flowing through. Wonderful. Now from here, we're just going to keep in the same place. Think hips nice and even. From here, we're going to inhale up with our hands, press our hands into one another. We're going to take a step back with our right foot. So think hips nice and even. We're just going to draw our hands down towards our heart. So shoulders drawing back as we slowly start to bow forward. So just as much as comfortable, hands can either go onto the left thigh or interlacing the hands behind the body, thinking shoulders nice and even. So we're just getting a gentle stretch on the back of our left thigh. Just a few breaths here. And lengthening through the neck, through the top of the head. And one more breath. And then nice and slowly, we're going to hinge back up, shoulders over top of the hips, releasing the hands if the hands are interlaced behind the body. Inhaling up, hands together, and then down towards the heart. Press into the left foot to join the right. Wonderful. So once again, little movement there if needed. And same, opposite side. So feet hip width apart. Let's inhale up with the hands. When you're ready, so thinking those hips, keeping nice and even and drawing in towards one another. As we take a step back with the left foot. So really thinking that our feet are on tracks. And we're going to try to keep them, whether we draw a foot forward or back, trying to keep them on their own track. Wonderful. So pressing the hands together and then down towards the heart, shoulders nice and even, and drawing back, long spine, hinging from the hips here. Can hold here, or we can put our hands on the thigh, or interlacing the hands behind the body here. So thinking shoulders back and down, lengthening through the neck. Good, few breaths here. Good, one more breath. And then nice and slowly, we're just going to start to hinge back up. Shoulders over top of the hips. We can release the hands, inhaling hands back up. Hands towards each other. We can step our left foot up and drawing our hands back down here. A little movement for the hips here. Good. And when you're ready, we're just going to come into a twist here. When you're ready, let's inhale up with the arms, and we're going to maybe going back into cactus arms there if that was comfortable for you here. I'm just going to turn to face the front here for a moment. There we go. Hello. So feet hip width apart. So really thinking about the shins, the thighs, and the hips staying the same here. We're just going to take a twist through the upper body. So we're going to go over to your left. So looking over to your left and that twist here. Good. Seeing if you can draw the elbows in line with the shoulders, or even drawing the hands on the hips. Or maybe for the twist, you're even just using the eyes for a twist. Just seeing what feels okay for the body. Good. Two more breaths. And you can always sink the hips a little lower if you'd like. And then nice and slowly back to center here. Take a breath here. And then nice and slowly looking over to your right. So maybe this is your twist here. Or twisting through the upper body here. Over to the right. So really keeping the kneecaps facing forward and the toes facing forward here as well. Last breath. And then nice and slowly back to center here. We can straighten out the legs, straighten out the arms, press our hands into one another, and then down towards the heart. Hello, arms. Hello. So from here, we're just going to come into our forward fold here. So we're going to inhale up with the arms. And then we're going to exhale our hands either onto the thigh, and maybe this is your forward fold here. I'm just going to turn to face the side. Maybe this is your forward fold here and you're staying here. If you're very comfortable, maybe keeping a bend in the knee and releasing the arms down. Allow the body to relax. And this here, this is where you could even have some books. A few books stacked on top of one another. If you find you'd like to rest your hands on some books here, sometimes that can be comfortable, or even cushions underneath them as well. And then when you're ready, we're just going to slowly start to roll up. So really relaxing the top of the head. You can always put your hands on your thighs to help support the upper body here. So no strain on the lower back. Good. As we slowly come back out, shoulders back and down. Relax. So imagine all the muscles along the spine relaxing here. Lovely. Okay, so from here, what we're going to do, we're just going to face kind of lengthwise with our mat here, because we're just going to take a step to the side. Now, even if you don't have a mat and maybe you're using, like, you can use a towel or anything like that too. So from here, we're just going to take a wider stance. And this is where either our books or some cushions can be handy. So here you can push cushions underneath. We're gonna, in the next pose, we're gonna be doing a forward fold. So if you find for forward folds, you don't need any props kind of drawing the earth up towards you. You can just draw them to the side. No need for them there. But if you do, you can go ahead and put them down there for you. So just kind of centering them with you here. So take a moment thinking feet facing forward. Good, thinking nice and even hips. And when you're ready, we're just going to start to draw the body down. So we're starting to hinge down, and this is where few options. You can put your hands on your hips, and so maybe this is your forward fold here and staying here. Or if comfortable, maybe the hands go onto some books, cushions, or the ground just to make a tabletop. So it's like we're trying to draw our back kind of parallel with the mat here, or the ground. Good, take a breath here. Now, if comfortable, maybe releasing down here. You can always adjust the distance of your feet and releasing here. So here we're just starting to draw awareness to the inner thigh now. Good. Allow the jaw to relax. And 2 more breaths here. And then nice and slowly, we're just going to move up back into your tabletop, or if your hands are on your thigh, just moving up slightly, just changing that position, a little release here from this pose. And then when you're ready, we're just going to slowly start to hinge the body back up. So you can always put a bend in the knees here if you'd like as well. Wonderful. So from here, we're just going to move into our warrior 2. So let's inhale up with the hands, and then we're going to exhale our arms down parallel with the mat. Then we're going to start over to our right side. So we're going to turn our right foot to face forward, and that back foot, our left foot, is just going to turn inwards slightly here. So we're just starting to open up through the thighs, stretching through the thighs, and a little bit more here. There we go. So seeing if we can line up our shoulders. So here, so in warrior 2, thinking lining up our hips. So it's like this straight line. It's like this line that our right foot, our right heel is drawing back here, and it's just making a line into the arch of our foot that's in the back. Our left foot. Good, nice straight line. If comfortable, maybe looking over to the right hand. So here, thinking our heart is open to the side. Good. Just finding your stretch here. Good. And thinking an evenness between the inside and the outside of the foot. Good. Relaxing shoulders. Nice strong arms. And now you can always put your hands on your hips. As a different placement for the arms here if this is not comfortable. Good. Okay, one more breath here. And then nice and slowly, we're going to straighten up the right leg. We're going to turn to face in the opposite direction. So careful of your ankles here if this is new to the practice perhaps. Good. And then just moving into that opposite side here, into our left side. So take a moment, lining up that left foot with the arch of the back, a leg, our right foot, shoulders back and down, open heart. Seeing if we can stack our shoulders over top of the hips. Here we go. And just doing what feels best for you. No pressure for the pose to look a certain way or be a certain way. Just seeing what feels best for you here. Good. Hello, arms. Good. We're going to get a little rest soon. Okay, so 2 more breaths. Okay, and then when you're ready, we're just going to straighten up that left leg. We're going to turn to face the front here, face forward. We can draw our hands onto the hips. Hello, arms. And from here, we're going to do a little forward fold. So however your forward fold may look here, thinking shoulders even, hips are even, slowly releasing here. So maybe this is your forward fold here, or maybe it's here. So just taking a very gentle forward fold. If comfortable, maybe going a little bit deeper. Adjust the distance of your feet here. So this is just a little release here. Allow those arms to relax. Good. One more breath. And then nice and slowly, just coming halfway up, or just releasing a bit from wherever you are in the pose. Take a breath. And then nice and slowly, we're just going to start to hinge back up. You can put a bend in the knees here. Okay, a little bit more arms, a little bit more stretch for the inside of the thigh. So from here, we're just going to turn our feet here. So thinking keeping an open chest to the side here. We're just going to turn our right foot just like we did for the warrior two here, finding a bend in the knee here. We're going to inhale our arms up just like our warrior two, but a little different here. So really keep grounded through that back foot, that left foot here. So a side angle pose here. So from here, our right arm to the inside of our right leg here. Now a few different options here for the arm. So whether it's stretching forward, that left arm to the sky or on the hip. So whatever feels most comfortable for you here. And you can adjust your feet here. If you find you want to go a little bit deeper for a stretch for the legs here. And shoulders back and down. Good. Few breath here. Good. 2 more breaths. And then nice and slowly we can release the left arm back into its warrior two position, slowly lifting up with our right, taking our time and adjusting the pose if needed. So we're just going to slowly move over to the opposite side. Now as we move over to the opposite side, if you find you need to kind of get your body out of this pose and just kind of add a movement, go for it. So important to listen to what your body needs. So our warrior two on our opposite side, and we're going to come into our side angle here. So left arm to the inside of the left thigh. You can draw your right hand to the sky, onto the hip, or reaching over to the side here for a side angle. Good. Shoulders back and down. Open heart. Good. That's it. 2 more breaths here. nice and slowly we're going to come up and over back to the warrior two here. We're just going to start to straighten up our left leg. We're just going to turn our left foot to face the front of the mat. We're just going to heel toe our feet together and then releasing our arms. There we go. We can allow a little release here. We can paddle out the feet. I'm just going to turn to face the front of the mat if you'd like to join me. So from here, we're just going to do a little forward fold, making our way down onto the mat here. Wonderful. Okay, so from here, inhaling up with the arms here. And then slowly exhaling the hands down just as far as comfortable. The hands can be on the thigh here as well. And then when you're ready, inhaling halfway up to wherever you were, to standing here, finding that middle. Then slowly releasing the hands down towards the ground and coming into a child's pose here. Or coming to lie down on the mat. Drawing hips down towards the earth, a bend in the knee, and a sway from side to side. So whatever feels most comfortable for you. Just really listening to the body. So here, allowing the hips to soften. And 2 more breaths. And then nice and slowly here. If in child's pose, you're just going to come to lie down on your belly here. So thinking the thighs about hip width apart here. Wonderful. There we go. Good. You can rest your chin down here. Good. Nice deep breath. And then nice and slowly pressing the tops of the feet, the fronts of the hips here into the earth. And we're going to slowly move into Sphinx here. So thinking palms and forearms grounded into the earth so they're parallel with one another here. Shoulders back and down. And taking a few breaths here in our Sphinx pose. So finding this evenness left and right. And allowing the jaw to relax. And relaxing the tops of the feet. Good. 2 more breaths. And then nice and slowly you can draw the elbows out to the side and slowly lower down, resting chin or forehead down. Take a nice deep breath. Drawing the hips down towards the earth as we start to bend the knees and a sway from side to side. So really trying to keep the hips grounded towards the earth as you allow this sway. And then back to center. You can rest your feet down. Now from here, you can either stay here for a moment or moving back into child's pose here. So whatever feels most comfortable for you. Good. 2 more breaths. And then nice and slowly we'll start to come back up. So taking your time there, watching we're not in a rush here. Excellent. So from here, we're just going to slowly move into our cat and cow here. So we can just turn to the side here. And then nice and slowly we'll start to exhale out, rounding the spine. And then inhaling up. So as we do this cat and cow, seeing if you can keep the shins nice and parallel with one another. Exhaling out, round the spine, and then inhaling up, drawing heart forward here. Good. Just a few breaths here. Good. And then nice and slowly back to center here. So from here, we're just going to turn to face the side of our mat here perhaps, and this is where a few of our props can come into play. So maybe have our cushions, a strap here, and we're just going to maybe sit on a pillow there if you'd like. There we go, getting nice and comfortable. Now from here, just kind of getting started for our next pose here. We're just going to do a little bit of butterflies. So being really gentle with the body here and just kind of taking note. So with our feet, so as our feet kind of close in here, so thinking about the outside edges of the feet here and the tops of the outside edges of the feet here. We're just kind of allowing them to kind of draw away. So imagining that my hands are like the feet, and we're just kind of opening up the feet at the top of it. And that are touching the ground here, they're drawing in towards one another. So just taking a moment here, so no big deal to throw a forward fold in or anything. We're just starting to bring awareness, a little bit more awareness to the inner thigh here, drawing the thighs down. Here we go. Good. That's it. And so this one here just kind of, it's more activating here. I would like to, I like that word there. We're just kind of activating, bringing awareness to the inner thigh. There we go. Excellent. Okay, so from here, we're just going to draw up with the legs. We're going to ground our feet, lifting the hips up and placing them back down. Maybe drawing the hands back and a little sway from side to side here with the legs. And when you're ready, back to center here. From here, we're going to extend our left leg out and then opening up the left leg and then the right foot to the inner left thigh. And this is where we can add more props in if we'd like. We can add a pillow underneath the thighs if needed. Now for this one here, this pose here, we're just going to be gently folding forward. So you can draw our hands forward and just think it could be the smallest hinge or just sitting up nice and tall. Then you can feel a bit of the stretch. So thinking grounding the underside of the thigh and the calf here. And this is where our pillow can come into play. So don't worry, you're like, the leg's not really touching. The underside of the leg is not touching. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's just thinking that the energy from the leg is drawing towards the ground here. Now for this pose, what I do like to use is a strap or a scarf underneath and just behind the foot, scooping the foot. And so it's just a guide. I'm not straining or pulling here. It's just a gentle hold as I hinge forward. And what I find that helps me to do is put a little bit more weight into that left seat bone, because we're thinking that left seat bone and right seat bone, trying to even those up. So you can kind of play around with the knees. You know, if you bend one knee or lift one knee, does that help me to be able to even out the pressure of my seat bones onto the earth? So just a few breaths here. even flow of breath. Good, just a few more breaths here, and you can always adjust that left leg further in or out. And then nice and slowly, we're just going to start to come back up. So using our right hand, maybe our left hand, to slowly come back up. Thinking long, long spine, take a nice deep breath. Allow the back to soften. And then nice and slowly, we're going to bend the left knee, ground the left foot, then the right foot here. Maybe a little lift up of the hips or rock off one Z bone, then the other. A little sway from side to side, maybe drawing the hands back to support the upper body. Just to find a little release here. Good. Then we'll do the same thing on the opposite side. Good. And back to center here. So once again, and you can always change to sitting on a pillow or, moving a pillow if you found that's just not working for you. Okay, so this time here, our right leg is going to extend out. Right leg opening up just as far as comfortable, and then thinking flex the left foot into the right thigh. And you can add some cushions there if you'd like. There we go. Take a moment to kind of check out the seat bones. Okay, does my right one want to kind of lift up? If I put a little bend in my right knee, does that help me out? Or lifting up my left knee, does that help me to ground one of the seat bones? So kind of taking a moment there, check out those seat bones. There we go, how they feel. And then if you'd like to use a strap around the foot there, you can use that if you'd like. So remember, it's just very gentle. Watch, there's no pull or strain to kind of really yank ourselves down. It's just a guide here, just helping to lengthen the spine and hinging forward. So whether with a strap here, maybe left hand down, maybe right hand down. So just a little forward fold. So whatever feels best for you. And allow the legs to relax. It's so important to honor the body here. And even if you find some poses you're just not even interested in, or the body is not feeling it today, just simply kind of taking a moment during those poses, just come back to your breath, sitting in a comfortable position there. And keeping a long spine. Good. Just a few more breaths. And then nice and slowly, we'll start to come back up. So using our hands perhaps to walk our body back up. Take a nice deep breath. Lovely. From here we can bend our right knee, draw the right foot in, and same with our left. We can draw our hands back and a sway from side to side here. Good. And even if you find there's kind of some other releases you'd like to do there, wherever we've been holding tension. Okay, so as we move into our next pose, we're going to go back into our butterfly pose here. So feeling free to sit on top of a pillow if you'd like. Get nice and long with the spine, drawing our feet together. Remember, we can always add some cushions underneath the thighs here or knees if you'd like support. So whatever feels best for you, with or without. Whether the feet are a little further away or a little closer in. And sometimes if you find the body really wants to round, adding more pillows to sit on or even backing up towards a wall and just having that little bit of support here for the lower back can sometimes be helpful. So kind of play around with this one to see what feels best. So either sitting up nice and tall, encouraging the thighs open here for that little stretch, or if very comfortable and you'd like to, you can hinge forward. If the hands are on the feet, so making sure that they're gentle here. No pain or strain. So we're just going to hold here for a few breaths. Allow your breath to be nice and even here. Allow the jaw to soften. Pressing on the outside edges of the feet in towards one another. 3 last breaths. And nice and slowly here, we'll start to release. We can use our hands to lift ourselves back up. Get nice and tall here. From here we can draw our knees back up. We can ground our feet. Can maybe even extend our legs. We can use our hands on the ground for support. And a little shake of the legs. Little open and close of the toes. Can you do that at the same time? It's a skill. Is that a skill? Good. From here we can ground our feet and a little sway from side to side. And then when you're ready here, coming back to center. And we're just going to come to lie down on our mat here now. There we go. So just going to take a breath here, just allowing our bodies to soften into recline here and allowing our back to be nice and supported. If you find it's comfortable for movement, maybe hugging the knees in towards the chest and a rock from side to side here, or making some circles with the knees, or grounded feet and a sway from side to side. Go. Okay, so from here we're just going to come into our bridge pose. So with grounded feet here, about hip width apart, our arms along our sides, and when you're ready, slowly starting to lift the hips up off of the mat. So just making sure that's comfortable for the neck. That's it, shoulders back and down, really grounded feet. So we're really activating here with the thighs. Good, 2 more breaths here. And then nice and slowly starting to lower the spine back down onto the mat, releasing hips down. Once the hips are down, you can slowly move into your butterfly pose here. And you can always put cushions underneath the thighs there if you'd like. So thinking, gently drawing down. And sometimes even putting like a blanket on the thighs here. Just putting a little extra awareness there can help to relax here for the inner thigh. So you can find a place for the arms, so whether the arms are in a T or alongside the body or alongside your head. So just taking a few breaths here. Nice deep breath that reaches all the way down into the hips, the inner thigh. Softening the lower back. And just a few more breaths here. Relaxing our feet. Make sure it's nice and comfortable for your neck here. No pain or strain. And then nice and slowly we can draw our arms along our sides. We can slowly draw our knees back up. We can ground our feet, a little lift up of our hips and placing hips back down. We're just going to draw our feet maybe as wide as the mat here. And just thinking really even left and right side of the body. From here, we're just going to slowly start to draw the knees towards our body. So maybe we are here, or maybe it's comfortable for us to do a happy baby pose here. Thinking shoulders back and down. So just getting into the inner thigh a little bit, into the hip. So flexing the foot here if it's comfortable in happy baby. Otherwise, releasing the feet and just holding onto the knees or even the material of the pants here as well. So just seeing what feels best for you. Shoulders back and down. Good. Really relaxing the back of the head here. Very even, left and right. And then nice and slowly here. So the distance of the feet are now, if it's okay, if it's comfortable, we're just going to release our hands, try to keep that distance in the feet, and then slowly placing the feet down onto the earth at that distance, if that feels okay. We can ground our palms down and a sway from side to side with the knees. So here, really trying to keep the lower back very grounded on the earth here as we sway the knees from side to side. So thinking gently, drawing down, perhaps feeling a little stretch here. Little release. And then slowly coming back to center here. We can draw our feet about hip width apart, maybe a little lift up of the hips, and then placing the hips back down. From here, we're just going to draw in with our left knee. Okay, maybe a little movement for that left ankle. We can extend our right leg to the sky, or maybe even just extending the right leg out and resting on the ground here. Good. And maybe a little movement back and forth here if the leg is raised. Good. Hello, right leg. One more. Hello. Good. Back to center. We can release that right leg down there. And always feeling free with this pose as well. You can always just ground the right foot down instead of it being extended. Wonderful. Okay, so from here we're going to draw our right knee in. Hug the right knee in. From here, we can either extend our left foot towards the sky, or resting our left leg on the ground, or just grounding our left foot down here as well with the bent knee. Good. If comfortable with that left leg that's extended, maybe a sway from side to side here with that leg. If you'd like, there, no pressure. Good, just kind of seeing where you're at in the practice today. Each day can be a little different. And then when you're ready, back to center here, we can release that left leg down onto the ground, or grounding the left foot onto the earth with a bent left knee. Good. One last breath. From here, we can extend our right leg out. We can extend our arms perhaps into a T or straight out above our head. There, and release. So we can draw our arms along our sides. And if there's any last poses you'd like to do here before coming into our Shavasana, go for it. Anything that makes it feel more comfortable or softened. There we go. Okay, so from here we're just going to come into our Shavasana. So for your Shavasana, you can go ahead and lie down. You can add a pillow or a blanket. I'm just going to be sitting up for your Shavasana. So just holding space for us here. So go ahead and take a moment, or even if you find there's a song, some music that you would like to turn it to right now, just to relax for kind of about 4 to 5 minutes here that will be in our Shavasana. So feeling free to pause the video if you need to. From here, just starting at the top of your head, across your forehead, cheek, and chin, and flowing down your neck. Exhale any tension out. And moving along the collarbones and shoulders, flowing down the arms into the elbows, through into the wrists and down to each finger. Exhale any tension out. Then moving along the rib cage, the belly, the hips sinking deeper into the mat. Exhale any tension out. Then moving along the thighs and knees, into the calves and ankles and down to each toe. Exhale any tension out. Becoming completely relaxed, completely where you're meant to be. Just taking these last few moments for yourself in peace. starting to wiggle the fingers and toes, bringing awareness back into the body. And when you're ready, slowly rolling to your right side for a breath, for a pause, before slowly coming up to easy seated position. I'm just taking a moment here in easy seated position here with me. Just feeling the effects of the practice today. Thank you so much for taking the time to practice with me today. If you've enjoyed this video, maybe giving it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, maybe subscribe to this channel. And if you click on the bell, it'll notify you when new videos are up. Take time to relax. Take time to soften. Take time to come back to your breath. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.